Welcome to the haunting of the paranormally possessed. Today I review The Possession Experiment. Some doors should never be opened. Directed by Scott B. Hansen, starring Chris Miner, Jake Brinn, Nicky Jasper, and Bill Moseley. This film is about Brendan, who is interested in possessions. He's a university student, and his final project for his religion class, he decides to research exorcisms and possessions. In doing so, he wants to document all these events and prove that possessions and exorcisms do exist. In doing so, he wants to let a demon enter his own body and see how real a possession can be. For a possession film, I was really impressed with how much gore was actually shown. Like, there were some really good kills in this movie that I didn't see coming. I mean, we had probably one of the best jaw rips I've ever seen in a film, and a demon punching right through someone's skull. This is a possession movie. Like, I expect this from slashers, and to have it in this kind of film, I was just blown away and caught off guard. And what's cool about it is you see everything. Which brings me to a trait that we've all expected in possession movies, and that is jump scares. In this film, they had them, but they were terrible.
I don't know.
What does that mean?
Jesus Christ.
And for a film that's supposed to be about possessions and exorcisms, it really didn't feel like it was a scary movie. Like, there was nothing scary about it. The production value, it did look nice, but the way that it was shot, and it felt more like a made-for-TV film. And there's a lot of awkward moments in this movie through our characters and how the story's developed. Our characters are just boring. Brendan, who is our main character, I don't even know where to begin with him. He's always smiling. You have like a serious moment and he's just smiling. It's like a really awkward, like, I'm very happy to be an actor kind of smile. Not like my character is meant to be smiling at everything that's going on. It's situations where he's supposed to be scared or it's supposed to be serious, but he just has this grin and it's awkward. And it's not just the characters and how they're developed that really make this story awkward. It's the story itself. It's very predictable. Everything is just thrown at you and you can guess what's going to happen in this film by like the first 5 minutes. You hear a baby crying in the distance. Fast forward 20 years later, we are introduced to our main character who's very interested in exorcisms. Guess what? He's the baby. And it sucks because you could call it 5 minutes in and you could call every single thing that's going to happen in this film just as you're watching it because they leave no room for the imagination. They kind of force feed you everything. It's just poorly written and it's not well executed. There's not really many likable characters. Clay is probably the most likable character as our comic relief stoner, and even then, that's pushing it. And with all the acting, there isn't a lot of emotion in the lines, so you don't feel for what's going on.
For the record, I am violently opposed to this idea.
Alright, then I'll take you back and I'll go there myself.
Brennan, do you not see what a terrible fucking idea this is?
Every single person that is given any screen time in this film, they just don't make you believe what's going on in the movie.
I definitely have to go patch things up with my mom. She did not take the experiment well at all.
The cops can't deliver their lines.
Grab him, do not let him go.
His teacher just doesn't even feel like a real teacher.
Well, this side of theology's always been really exciting to study. A bit of Gore for your thoughts.
And everyone around him, his parents, they're just forced these lines. Like, it's really bad acting.
Son, your mother's dead.
So with a predictable story and bad acting, there really isn't much to go off of this film. And especially because it's not even scary. There's nothing really creepy about it. And it's just tacky jump scares. But I think the icing on the cake for me has to be the fact that I was excited that Bill Moseley was going to be in this movie. I love Preacher Bill. Good or bad, I love Bill Moseley. And in this film, he dies 5 minutes in. It's like every single horror film that we see these days. It's like featuring Bill Moseley, featuring Kane Hodder, starring Robert Englund. And they're just cameos. Stop giving us these movies where they're only in it for a couple minutes, but they're the key marquee. They're the cameo. Make it like a surprise appearance. That would have made me feel better about this film because then I would have gone into not knowing he's there and seeing him and be like, oh, this is an awesome cameo. Bill Moseley's in this. Not, hey, you want to go watch this possession movie with Bill Moseley, who's not in it? So for a possession film, I really wouldn't recommend this to anyone. It doesn't have those elements that you come to love when going to watch these kind of movies. It has like an interesting possession take on it, but the story is too cookie cutter and predictable that it's not that enjoyable. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 2 dudes creeping on a hot med student on Facebook out of 5. If you've guys seen this movie, comment below with your thoughts about it, because I want to know if you liked it. And if you liked this video, give it a like. If you haven't seen the film, I'm gonna put links in the description below so you can check it out. And if this is your first time to the channel, make sure to subscribe to stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.